Hey Tribe, thanks for tuning into the Pursuit of Health and Wellness podcast, the show for women seeking a practical path to conscious living to elevate their physical, mental, and spiritual well-being. I'm your host, Sierra Corbett, an experienced holistic health practitioner. Every episode, I'll share with you tips and tricks that I've learned from my career in educational holistic health. I'll also introduce you to experts within the wellness field in order to help you create a wholesome lifestyle where you can feel good from the inside out. I'm so glad you're here and have chosen to invest in yourself. Let's get going. Hey Tribe, welcome to the Pursuit of Health and Wellness. Today we're going to have a conversation about sexual health issues that impact women. We're going to touch on how medical conditions, whether physical or hormonal, can impact a woman's sex life, possible solutions to those problems, and ways in which patients can address their sexual health problems comfortably with healthcare providers. It's important to understand that female sexual problems affect women of all ages and can often go undiagnosed and untreated. Joining us today is naturopathic doctor and sexual health expert, Dr. Julissa Hernandez. Welcome, Dr. Julissa. How are you?
I am feeling divine now that I'm here with you, dear. Thank you so much for having me, and hello to your beautiful audience.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being a guest on the Pursuit of Health and Wellness. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
So, before we dive into this conversation, can you introduce yourself and familiarize us with your services as a naturopathic doctor and also a sexual health expert?
Thank you. Thank you so much. So I have been in practice since 1995. I'm a board certified naturopathic doctor,
Okay.
a BCND, and my home office is just 2 blocks from the Empire State Building. I'm in the heart of Manhattan on Park Avenue, between 33rd and 32nd Street. And what is naturopathy? That's your question. It's, bringing in nature as a powerful healing force also to help us overcome deficiencies and imbalances that we find within the body.
Okay.
It is truly also preventive medicine, but even when a patient is suffering from a certain health challenge, it's feeding the body what it needs with everything. When we look at the body holistically, what's happening in the environment, what they're exposing themselves to, diet, food, and what we can bring in that's missing to help them overcome these challenges so that the body heals itself. That's the premise of what I do with my patients for 27 years now.
Okay, nice. And where can we find you online?
You can all find my information at drjulissa.com. That's drjulissa.com.
Okay. And do you have any other social media platforms that you would want to share with us, whether it's YouTube or Instagram?
Oh, yes, they've put me on about 7.
Okay.
We have 2 Facebook pages. So
Okay.
Dr. Julissa, the professional page, and then the personal page, DRJULISSA, BCND, which is board certified naturopathic doctor. That's 2 Facebook pages. I'm on LinkedIn as well. Instagram is Dr. Julissa as well. Twitter, Pinterest. I didn't say LinkedIn.
Okay, so everything.
Yes.
Nice.
And TikTok now, as I have been pushed to do by my amazing manager and team.
Yeah, TikTok is the new platform that everyone's trying to get on. But
we're there.
so it's great. So it's important to be visible to all different type of demographics. So that's great that you're on all different type of platforms.
Yes.
Okay, so you have a book out that's called The Naturopathic Approach to Fertility. Can you tell us a little bit more about it?
Oh, yes. So I actually focus on general health. That is how I began my practice back in 1995, general health, from working with children with cancer from the Ronald McDonald House with parents that just wanted a different alternative to their healing, to fertility and everything in between, really, when it comes to general health and healing, because you really just break it down to just one thing in my feeling. However, what I've noticed in my 27 years of practice is that the majority of people were coming to me with their sexual health problems. And when you really think about it, what my saying is, sexuality really is at the core. It is the very essence of our health, life, and well-being, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and we all came from sex. So
Right.
when you
Right.
think that, really it is at the base, at the root. And so a lot of people were coming to me more and more over the years. When it came to fertility also, and sadly it's been growing more, and we'll talk about more of that later, I imagine. But I started helping patient after patient that started telling the other, about how she got pregnant and she was trying for a year, or they were a couple trying for 2 years and nothing happened, to the point where about I would say 19 years in, and now with all of this success, I was approached by my publisher to write the book, The Naturopathic Approach to Fertility, because as of today, and where's some wood knocking on my desk, I still
Mm-hmm.
have, as of today, as of October 20th, 2022, a 100% success rate in helping couples conceive.
Nice.
Now, the divine, the creator, helps me with that as well. I always ask for that inspiration and that guidance through the divine to help me when I'm working with my patients. And that can change at any time. Nothing is perfect in life, nothing.
Right.
However, that is why I was asked to actually write the book by my publisher and my publicist. And so that's why the Naturopathic Approach to Fertility was born, in English and Spanish editions.
Nice. Okay. And where can we find the naturopathic approach to fertility? Is it on Amazon? Can we order it from a local bookstore? How can we get our hands on it?
Yes, yes. It is located on Amazon. It is on Barnes and Noble as
Mm-hmm.
well.com. It is on my publisher's site, mango.bz, as well. And
Okay.
it also it focuses on men and women and just a couple with their healing. Because when it comes to fertility, what we've found in studies and research is that 45% of the problem with infertility is the woman's challenge,
Mm-hmm.
45% the man's challenge, and 10% tends to be somewhat unknown of why
Okay.
they're not conceiving. And so it takes two to tango. I dedicate chapters on just men's health, sexual health,
Mm-hmm.
dedicate chapters on just women's sexual health. But it's not, it is a fertility book, and yet it's also for any man or woman that desires to have true sexual health. Epic sexual health is what I call it. And so it is really for any man and woman that desires that.
Awesome. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So I understand that you work with both men and women, individuals and couples. Who would you say are your core clients?
From the day I help them fall into the womb until the day they pass, every age group. Because, when you have a little girl that the
Mm-hmm.
parents have brought to me who is menstruating at the age of 7, there's a true serious hormonal imbalance thing going on.
Mm-hmm.
To a little boy that may be having some sort of sexual challenges too there. And so everyone,
Okay.
everyone from and I believe all souls are the same, but yes, you're going to have all types of beautiful souls come in, and also celebrities and athletes, and it's just everyone. To me,
Mm-hmm.
everyone is a beautiful soul. I love all my patients. That's one of my hashtags. Love all my patients. All of you are beautiful.
Nice.
And it doesn't matter where or what type of background you have. It's just to help you heal. As a Taoist, that's my spiritual practice. We
Mm-hmm.
see all souls, all living souls as beautiful beings. So yes.
Nice. Okay. All right. And according to research, most female sexual health problems can range from low desire, problems with vaginal lubrication, or inability to climax. And also, possible causes of sexual health problems are dysfunction, such as stress, anxiety, a history of abuse, as well as psychiatric illness. Can you tell us if you're noticing any trends with your practice regarding female sexual health issues?
Yes. I would say it is a lot. It's everything from menstrual challenges to
Mhm,
constantly missing periods. 1 month you have it, 2 months you don't, then you have it again
mhm,
for 3 months, and then you don't. To issues of uterine fibroids. That's one thing that I'm also very much known for. For any of you out there that ever used to listen to the Michael Baisden show, the nationally syndicated Michael Baisden show, I was the resident naturopathic doctor on that show for 9 years, for their last 9 years until they ended the show after a 12-year run. So I was on for the last 9 years. And in that time,
Mm-hmm.
I talked about everything from helping patients overcome and helping their bodies to heal themselves from viral challenges like herpes to shrinking uterine fibroids and so on. I mean, that was big topics that we discussed on the show.
Okay.
And, endometriosis, I've published articles on endometriosis and uterine fibroids and shrinking them and preventing surgery, breast cancer, and so much. It's just everything that you could imagine in between. Yes, yes, it's all of those things that women are hearing, when they go into their conventional gynecologist's office and they're told you have this problem per se.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's what I help them overcome, because the sad part is that many times, not in all cases, but many times, people are going to my colleagues, they're conventional doctors, and being
Mm-hmm.
told maybe sad news, and they can't overcome it with just drugs and chemicals, and surgery is not always the option that they want. So they look for
Right.
the alternative, and those are the patients that I get and that achieve that healing.
Okay. All right. And would you say sexually transmitted infections such as HIV, HPV, chlamydia, and gonorrhea are also major causes of sexual health dysfunction? And if so, can these STDs be treated with naturopathic medicine?
Absolutely, sexually transmitted diseases are going to cause sexual dysfunctions. A lot of them cause a lot of scarring,
Okay.
unfortunately, and will definitely devastate them as far as their reproductive lives. So, most definitely, that is something I must look into whenever a patient comes to me with a challenge. And your second question was?
Can these STDs be treated with naturopathic medicine?
Most definitely. Most
Okay.
definitely. I use interceptive therapies, I use natural therapies, and a combination of things. We're talking about nutritional therapy, even body work
Mm-hmm.
that has to be done when it comes to having their bodies overcome themselves from herpes, gonorrhea, and such. It's just everything that I need to talk about with them. I mean, from a woman who may come to me who's a smoker, the smokers are 3 times more at risk than non-smokers for sexually transmitted diseases. So all of this, I have to look at the body and the person and the patient holistically. I need to see everything that's involved in their life and their environment to help them truly overcome this. What made them so susceptible to that? It's not always promiscuity. Some
Right.
people are labeled immediately for those types of things. But yes, natural therapies have a centuries old reputation of being able to help patients overcome these challenges. The drugs are going to have the side effects. You know that.
Mm-hmm.
Where do they make drugs from anyway? They come from plants.
Right.
So why
Right.
not take them in their pure source? And I've proved that time and time again and published significant articles on those topics as well. So yes, even
All right.
HIV. Okay.
Okay. All right. So overall, when treating a client, there's levels to it. That's mental, physical, spiritual, emotional, environmental. It's not just, here's medication,
Mm,
good luck, is what you're pretty much saying.
correct. I
Okay.
I call it where it's a universal approach to
Mm-hmm.
medicine is what I love to call what I do with my patients, because we need to focus on finding out what the root cause or causes were.
Mm-hmm.
I do nothing, or you do nothing, by taking a chemical drug, pharmaceutical, and masking the problem, just feeling good in the moment. If once the effect goes away, having the symptoms come right back, you've never actually truly healed yourself. Your body has not healed. So we do nothing if we don't find out where the core problem came from, where the root cause came from. It's everything
Mm-hmm.
from the mental and the physical, as you mentioned, and all of that really is what is needed to help a person feel true epic health.
Right. Okay. Nice. All right. So for the listeners that's currently experiencing sexual health problems, what would you suggest the first thing they should do to address their sexual health problems comfortably with their partners and also their healthcare providers?
Well, if you've already found out that you have been tested with a specific challenge and you've been noticing the symptoms and you're feeling these issues, we need to first focus on, in many cases, I like to focus on what's like almost like a stress cleansing type of diet, and then bring in specific interceptive natural therapies that are going to help the body with overcoming these issues. We're trying to help with diminishing challenges with sores, if I'm treating issues with chlamydia, which is
Mm-hmm.
3 million plus new cases per year. If I'm treating issues of, let's say, gonorrhea, we're looking at about 800,000 new cases per year now. That's grown. And I actually published a post on that information as well. And so we're going to feed the body what it needs so that it can correct itself from even those acute phases. Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
there's nothing they can do, and that's not the case. We need to create even bowel tolerance that has to be in place so that their body can truly shed a lot of these challenges when they're eliminating. Sometimes I have to help them with guiding them to create natural vaginal suppositories that they'll put in at night.
Mm-hmm.
So it really depends. That's for trichomonas, for example, where
Mm-hmm.
it's a parasite that is transmitted through sexual contact, and so on. It's all of that. Vaginosis, syphilis. I mean, it's sadly, it's an
Yeah.
array of things, and yet the solutions are there. I mean, and plus 20 plus years of this, it's a beautiful thing to see them so happy after that. And I always tell every patient, give your body minimum 90 days to
Mm-hmm.
help it overcome these challenges. Minimum. But in the first week or two, you'll love me. You'll be fine.
Nice.
They'll feel it. Their body
Right.
just say, I don't need to prove anything. Let your body show you. Listen.
Right.
Mhm.
I've noticed that our bodies really, they want to take care of itself. So if we give it what it needs, it's going to do what it needs to do in order to improve. But we have to create the right conditions in order for it to improve.
Mhm.
I've noticed that, as time goes on, there's more and more sexual health problems for both men and women. What do you think it is about modern life that's sparking more of these issues regarding sexual health?
I feel sad that we are so bombarded with so many chemicals and such that are being expelled in the air we breathe as well.
Mm-hmm.
I feel sad that most people, right, don't eat everything organic. Sometimes we're
Mm-hmm.
exposed, obviously, to things that are not, and those types of things like the pesticides and GMOs and such that are in the foods are causing a lot of these disruptions as well. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
drinking from a styrofoam cup, the xenoestrogens in that, women are having severe challenges with hormonal balance and estrogen dominance, and that you can simply notice by looking at a woman. And if she's very pear shaped, I'll use the example of, for I don't know, maybe the Alicia Keys type of body, right, where it's
Mm-hmm.
a small on top and let's say a large on the bottom, if it were a two-piece suit, right? And so
Mm-hmm.
that immediately lets us know visually that there's an estrogen dominance problem there. Uterine fibroids tell us that. Estrogen, the endometriosis also tells us of severe hormonal imbalance. So the exposure to foods and such are causing a lot of these disruptions. Even sitting in front of a laptop for extended periods of time
Mm-hmm.
exposes to xenoestrogens. Okay, so it's the lifestyles that we're living. Everyone's on their phones, everyone's on their laptops.
Right.
So all of that really does cause disruption. So we can offset it. Just know that there are ways
Mm-hmm.
to heal. There are ways to prevent. All right. So never feel doomed. Okay.
Right.
But yes, a lot of that is what's happening. The stresses, and stress can do anything, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Uh, and then you have, as far as the sexually transmitted diseases, I mean, I was just talking to a young man, 37 years old, who was dating on the dating apps. And, on the second appointment, he says he went out with the young lady and so on. And he had a scare and he had to get her a morning after pill. I said, wait, you had sex without a condom? What's going on?
Right. Wait a minute.
on
You
a
skipped that
one night
part.
stand? What's happening
Yeah.
here? What is it?
Yeah.
And it's sad because, we don't want people to not have self-love for themselves. I said, I know about you. I know how you are, but I don't know where she's been. I don't know what she's up to. So, it's just sad. You have to be more alert and more open as far as your mind is concerned to understanding that no matter how handsome he is, no matter how beautiful she is, you have to consider that you have to take care of yourself.
Right.
And the condom is one way to do that. So
Right.
open your minds to that. I mean, it's sadly something that's growing immensely. And we can talk about even the elderly in nursing homes, huge numbers of sexually transmitted diseases.
I heard that.
Amazing, incredible. And it's like, it's sad because, at that point they're like, I just want to feel good. I'm
Right.
gonna, they're closer
Right.
to their last days, and it's no, and then they're suffering with we don't want to get very visual on that, but we're looking at sores and
Right.
discharges and things of that sort that you
And
don't want to have issues with. And
right.
until
And
they
those are
have it, that's when they're like, oh, I should have thought twice.
right. Those are things that could be prevented.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much. This conversation has been very informative. As you mentioned, sexuality is such an essential part of our essence as a collective. It could be a liberating experience when it's practiced safely and consciously. So,
Mhm.
before we wrap up this conversation, can you leave us with one key takeaway on how we can improve our sex lives and experience epic sexual health?
Absolutely. If you have the desire to truly achieve that in your life and with your partner, definitely have the conversations also about what you two expect from one another. I'm all about the emotional balance with my patients as well, the
Hmm.
mental balance as well, apart from the physical and the spiritual. So that should be something where you talk about what your expectations are with each other as far as intimacy is concerned, and what you desire, whether it's, yes, we are going to have a baby in the future, or we're not, and we want to enjoy ourselves and truly experience it to the max, right?
Hmm.
And so definitely have those conversations with each other. And if you're not in a relationship and you are finding yourself having certain specific sexual health challenges, and you've gone and found out that you have specific issues, and now you feel that there's no turning back from that, that's it, it's over for you. I mean, I've had patients come to me with herpes, feeling that they can never date ever again, and that's not the case. Your body can overcome
Hmm.
these things, although sadly many are told that they have to live with something for the rest of their lives. Not true. You've never found anyone that has the flu forever. And
Right,
so
right.
a virus is a virus, and you can feed the body what it needs to overcome those things. So have that hope.
Hmm.
Open up your minds to knowing that, yes, epic health, epic sexual health is absolutely possible. I've actually just launched my own, and I've developed, and it took me a couple of years to develop it, some specific sexual health program for women and a specific sexual health program for men that is only available at the moment to my patients, but soon it will be launching out to the public. So look out for that, and know that you have these tools at your disposal. And I am here at your service. I don't plan on going anywhere. I'm hoping to live to maybe 120. Let's go for it.
Yes.
And so I'm not going anywhere, and I'm here for all of you. And you can find all that information on my website at drjulisa.com.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dr. Julisa. This has been a great conversation, and thank you for educating my audience about ways in which they can experience epic sexual health. We truly appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me, Sierra. Goodbye, all.
Well, that's all for today's show. So here's where you apply the information you just heard to your own life. What changes will you start making in your life based on what you've learned today? Do you have any questions regarding topics that I haven't covered, or want to learn more about how to practically use what we discussed in your day-to-day life? If you do, just shoot me a message through the contact form at sierracorbett.com, and I'll try to cover it in a future episode. Don't forget to leave me a rating on iTunes or Spotify so I can continue bringing you content like this. Until next time, thanks for tuning in to the Pursuit of Health and Wellness.